Welcome to ZKast, everyone. I'm Zeus Kerravala from ZK Research, and I'm here at Cisco Partner Summit in San Diego. I'm with Dean Fernandes from NWN, CTO of NWN, one of Cisco's partners. Obviously, it's Partner Summit.
That's right.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the innovation in the show, things like that, AI, obviously. Before we do that, though, just a quick intro on yourself and who NWN is.
Sure. So Dean Fernandes, I've been at NWN about 15 months now. Got hired as the CTO, which is kind of a mixed role. It's a product role as well as a CTO role, a technical role. So I'm responsible for all of our 7 offers. Also our AI strategy and technology, and EMP, which is our experience management platform, is where we help to deliver our managed services, but where we pull all the information and data from our customers and then provide insights back to them on what they can do better or how we can help them. So NWN is a full stack IT services company, and continue to expand. AI, just like everyone else for us, is one of the big topics, and we've really expanded the portfolio over the last 12 months or so. Not just machine learning and some of the old AI, but starting with conversational AI, Gen AI, and now really pushing agentic AI.
Okay, and where does Cisco rank in your hierarchy of companies you work with? Because obviously partners work with.
Right. So we have 15 strategic partners. We've got a lot of different partners, but we've got 15, and really our strategy is to double down with those partners. Cisco being our number 1 partner, and it spans contact center, unified communication, security, all the collaboration and video, networking, data center equipment. So they are one of the few partners that spans across all the different offers that we have.
Yeah, well, that would make sense. I mean, they've really pushed in that direction too. And so, since you're CTO, you talk to a lot of customers, obviously.
Yes.
I want to get your temperature on. You mentioned already AI.
AI, yeah.
Right. Every company I've talked to has got AI on the roadmap. When I drill down deep on what that means, I get everything from Microsoft Copilot to using AI to change healthcare or something like that. And so, from your perspective, where are companies today? They still kicking the tires? Is 2026 going to be the year of AI?
Yeah. So I had an interview last year. They asked the same question. Yeah. So I think that one of the problems that customers are having is that everyone agrees that they need AI. If you look at all the research, AI is what our customers are looking for. The problem is they don't know where to start. What's the highest ROI and highest value for AI? So one of the things that we're helping with through consulting and strategy work is help them to understand where should they start and what's the biggest ROI based on the outcomes they're looking for.
Yeah.
So it could be helping a customer with contact center with an intelligent virtual agent to help with deflection rate, or to help with sentiment analysis. So there's a whole area there, but there's also a lot of customers that are looking for, they've got a lot of data, structured and unstructured data, and they need to do some analysis on it, and they need to drive output. That's another place that we can start, right? So because we've built our own agentic AI, then we can help them there. And then also with our partners, Cisco being the lead one, AI is built into their products already. So taking the AI capabilities that they have and then leveraging that for the customers, and then making their networks run faster, or making their data centers run faster, or making it more secure, right, with AI. So it's really multifaceted, and we've built a multifaceted strategy to be able to go and help them where they need. So meet the customer where they need to be.
Yeah. Now, one of the key themes in the keynote was the need to modernize, right? And so I did a survey last year, and one of the questions I asked was, how important is your network compared to business operations compared to 2 years ago? And something like 93% said more important, right? What you would think.
Yep.
But 82% or something said it's also more complex. And
I agree.
We've got this kind of dueling forces of more complex and more important. G2 Patel, the chief product officer, actually said the network's a force multiplier. And so I'm curious as to, I'm sure you're seeing that across your base, but
we are.
So when they think about modernizing, I mean, you can't modernize everything at once, right? So how are they thinking through that process, or how are you helping them think through that process?
Yeah, and I mean, there's always inflection points, right? One was going from MPLS to SD-WAN, right? And we're still talking about that migration, and that we started that years ago, right? A long time ago, and customers are still doing it. And there's not a customer around that will automatically switch out their whole network, right? Network is complex, a lot of things to go and do. We think that AI is an inflection point as well to modernize the network, but for a couple of reasons. One is we have a lot of customers who are being told move to cloud. Now, while that might be right for some applications and some data and workloads, not for everything. So AI does not necessarily have to live in the cloud. The data should live where the data belongs, where it's easy to access and secure, right? So data consumes a lot of bandwidth, a lot of storage, a lot of electricity. So some of that may be more suited to sit on the edge of the network, closer to where the people are using it, and then backups go to the cloud. So that's one. So we are helping them to understand the data needs to go where the data belongs. And when you do that, that means that the data flow changes and your network has to change to keep up with that, right? So if your data is in a data center somewhere and it's also in the cloud, that network needs to be there to be able to provide the infrastructure and the connectivity. And the same on the WAN side and on the LAN side. You need now bigger pipes, smarter pipes. And then while you're doing all that, you need to make sure it's secure, right? So you have to have security built into all of that. So our conversations with the customers when they ask about that is, let's go and figure out where your workloads belong, and then we can help redesign the network to be able to go and meet that. And then with the technology that like Cisco has with AI built into it, AI makes the network run better, makes the data centers run better and faster, and we get to have better insights to proactively fix problems or to remediate problems in real time where a human doesn't have to get involved, which eliminates mean time to repair.
Yeah, and so when you, and I'm glad you brought that up, because actually it's an interesting point of they have built a lot of AI into their products, and have you seen meaningful progress then towards being able to, I'm not going to say automate operations, because I think we're away from that, but
right.
At least being able to use AI as that, the co-pilot in the NOC to be able to advise people. Because frankly, I'm a former network engineer. There's not a lot of heavy lifting to run a network.
Yeah. I agree. So the struggle I think everyone's having, and Cisco is, there's no one platform that allows you to monitor everything, right? Like Cisco's strategy is they have a platform by, or they have a monitoring tool by platform. So what we do is help to coordinate all of that. So it could be Thousand Eyes or it could be Splunk, right? But we need to go and pull those together into EMP, and then we use AI and analytics to go and understand, well, based on the data that we're seeing, we may see a problem over in this part of the network, or there is a problem going on in the network. How do you remediate that really quickly? So one of the examples I like to use with customers, a really simple example, is from a firewall perspective. If you've got a firewall port that's flapping, you're probably being hacked, right? And today, it takes a human to actually see that alarm and then go and do something with it, either shut it down or put a ticket in or do something with it. With AI, it'll automatically recognize that, and then with your policies, you go shut it down, reroute it automatically, then put the ticket in, all within minutes, as opposed to it could be hours to actually remediate that.
Yeah, no, and certainly it should bring a lot of the labor costs down. And what I find interesting about that is, in IT, you always hear about AI taking jobs. People are worried. I talk to companies; they can't hire enough network engineers and security people.
I agree. I agree. Yeah. So AI will take some roles, but just like any new technology, it will take some roles. But what's really happening is that it's making companies train people on AI, right? So if you're AI literate, then that moves you up the stack on what you can do, right? So some of the low-level technicians in some of the areas, they get trained to do a higher level job, right? So AI is not taking the high-level, big thinking jobs right now, at least in the environments. It's taking the day-to-day ones, right, where you can go and have higher ticket deflection and reduce the ROI, and actually make it a better customer experience for the customers.
Yeah. Do you have any good customer examples? You can leave the customers generic if you want about their use of AI and the return that they've seen.
Sure. I mean, the easiest example is really around the contact center. There are still customers who are buying contact centers without intelligent virtual agents, which I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Intelligent virtual agents,
they won't have customers long.
You're absolutely right. Intelligent virtual agents and AI embedded in contact centers makes the customer experience much easier and makes it easier for the agents as well. So with a proper IVA, we've got one that we call AVA that can sit in front of any contact center, or because of agentic AI, it will integrate and learn from all the agents. But the intelligent virtual agent will deflect a lot of calls from real agents. But when a call actually does go to an agent, AI built in can understand the sentiment of the call, or monitor the call, and if a customer has a question, instead of that agent having to look it up, AI is already watching it and reading it and provides that agent the answer right away. It also understands what topic they're talking about, understands who the customer is, and then can provide more follow-up feedback to them and make it a much better experience for them, rather than just having an agent. So it's not just necessarily replacing the agent, it's making that agent more productive.
Yeah, well, and frankly, the things it's doing, agents don't really like doing anyways.
It's
right.
right.
So,
and they do call summaries,
Yeah.
right, to make it easier to understand what worked, what didn't work.
Yeah.
Understand the tone of the agent for a supervisor to see was that a good call. Any feedback. So AI is embedded in a lot of different places, and contact center is just the easy example to use. And we've got a lot of customers that we deployed contact centers for, and now we're upgrading them to AI and IVAs to understand that. And then that is kind of the foray into it. And then we show them where else you can use AI, kind of using virtual agents as well.
Yeah.
So making a lot of inroads there.
All right, Dean. Now, a big part of Cisco's strategy has been the rise of the platform. In fact,
Right.
since he became Chief Product Officer, G2 has talked nonstop about wanting to platform Cisco.
Right.
And I think, I'm curious to get your take on this, in this AI world where every second matters, speed matters, having to cobble together point products just doesn't really seem practical anymore.
Right.
And so whether it's a single vendor platform or a fully integrated system, when you think about what you're bringing to your customers, how important is that?
So it's a really good question, because where IT integrators made a lot of money was doing the integration work.
Yeah.
Right? You could take like Cisco products and then have to integrate them together because they weren't doing it. So now that they're more platform, it's easier to consume, right? And they talk to each other more natively than if we were to go and integrate them. So that's a great strategy for us, and it's a great strategy for our customers. However, there's no such thing as a homogeneous environment. There's going to be Cisco, and there's going to be other people in there, right? Other partners in there. So it's still our strategy to help take those platforms, pull them together, and integrate them so that they're integrated with ITSM, or they're integrated with ITOM. They're all integrated. That's still where we provide a lot of services, because not all of them have the same strategy as Cisco.
Yeah. But at least with some basic integration done, I'm assuming from your own business perspective, you can focus more on higher level consulting and things
Absolutely.
like that, which typically is higher margin than the integration services, right?
It is. Like break, fix, and just installing boxes is not really, while you have to go and do that, and we will continue to do that, it's the services that we layer on top of it to make it easier to install, or easier to manage, or like I said, get the insights from that. It's the software that we put on top of that, our own, kind of our secret sauce on top of that, to help make it much easier, and then help to reconfigure environments much quicker. So while they're still platforms, you're right, we want the higher level services to make it a better experience.
Well, Tim Coogan actually showed, the new channel chief at Cisco, showed that on stage, that product resell is like single digit percentage of what companies like yourself make. Where
Absolutely.
Before it used to be a huge chunk of it, right? So
Yep.
With product resale now not being as meaningful, and frankly, no one really liked that business anyway.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It's a low margin business, but it's a business we still have to be in. It doesn't matter if it's laptops or devices or firewalls or routers. We still have to go and do that. But that is not where the value is. The value is the service that we put on top of that.
And I'm curious, how are you guys using AI internally?
We've got a lot of different ways that we're using it. So we use it on our service desk. We use Ava on our service desk for deflection rate.
Yeah, and
so
that's your own homegrown.
That's one. That's what we have, and we are going to continue to build AI agents using agentic AI. So we use AI in our marketing environment, right? To get marketing campaigns going. We use it from a sales perspective. We are using it in multiple places where there's data, and I'll tell you that we've got a software development team that's focused on AI, and the amount of requests I'm getting from our internal stakeholders on how to be able to go use AI, it's growing faster than I can grow our software development team. But there is a lot of opportunity to go and do that, and even once we have the technology, that technology is easily adapted to all the different use cases because we've built kind of the base of that technology.
All right, Dean, and wrap this up. I'll let you do a bit of a commercial here.
Okay.
For customers watching this, if they're struggling with what to do with AI, what are the things they should be thinking about, and how can you help them?
Sure. So like I said, customers are struggling with AI, trying to figure out where to start. An easy place to start is contact center, right, or customer experience, as we call it, and I think that's being picked up in the industry. That's an easy way. But there's also customers that are coming to us now and trying to figure out, I've got all this data, I need to do something with it, right? So the data needs to go somewhere, and we can help them put the data in the right spots, but then also take that data and use our agentic AI agents to go and do something with that data, structured or unstructured, to be able to go and provide them the experience that they want, the knowledge that they want, where it would take them, a long time to try to find where all the spreadsheets are. We also do that with our partners' platforms. So we can take data from Salesforce, from NetSuite, from ServiceNow, and start to pull it together and do the correlation. So we have a strategy, and we have an assessment offer, right? So we can go and do the assessment and help them figure out what's the best way to start based on the outcomes they're looking for and the ROI.
All right. And so if they want to learn more about you, your website is? NWN.ai. Well, that's pretty simple.
And it's very simple.
All right. Anything you want to add?
No, that was very good.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
So from Partner Summit, on behalf of Dean Fernandes,
Yeah.
CTO of NWN, I'm Zeus Kerravala from CK Research, and thanks for watching. Give us a like and also hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time on my next episode of ZKast.